Have you ever wanted something so badly that you felt it burning through your skin? Not love, desire. The kind that pulls you in, then pushes you over the edge. This isn't about longing, it's about possession, madness, regret. This is where Shakespeare goes when love is gone, and only lust remains. This sonnet doesn't court beauty. It dissects it. It is raw. It is furious. It is the anatomy of a man devoured by his own hunger. Shakespeare isn't whispering here. He's snarling. In Shakespeare and the Poetics and Politics of Relevance, scholars point out how rare it is for the bard to use such language, not for war, not for politics, but for desire. This isn't a sonnet of praise, it's an autopsy. Before, during, after, the cycle of lust, from holy to hellish, from promise to punishment. By the early 1600s, Shakespeare was no stranger to contradictions. He had written of transcendent love, and now he wrote of corrupting want. In Will in the World, Greenblatt suggests this sonnet may have emerged not from invention, but from experience. From the poet's own conflict between craving and contempt. He had seen bodies praised and discarded. He had seen beauty weaponized. He had lived in a court where seduction was currency and pleasure came with a price. The sonnet doesn't mask its rage. It names it, tears off the veil. The expense of spirit in a waste of shame. That opening line is not a metaphor. It's a verdict. In the Elizabethan world, sex outside marriage was sin. But in private, it was everywhere. Behind court tapestries, in alehouse corners, in shadows. And in the soul of a man torn between ecstasy and guilt.
The expense of spirit, in a waste of shame, is lust in action. And till action, lust is perjured, murderous, bloody, full of blame, savage, extreme, rude, cruel, not to trust. Enjoyed no sooner but despised straight. Past reason hunted, and no sooner had. Past reason hated, as a swallowed bait, on purpose laid, to make the taker mad. Mad in pursuit, and in possession so. Had, having, and in quest to have. Extreme, a bliss in proof, and proved, a very woe. Before, a joy proposed. Behind, a dream. All this the world well knows, yet none knows well to shun the heaven that leads men to this hell.
This isn't poetry that flatters, it scorches. Desire here is not temptation, it's torment. Not the thrill of the chase, but the sickness after the catch. Shakespeare dissects the cycle. Lust promises heaven, but delivers hell. In the Cambridge Companion to Shakespeare's poetry, this sonnet is described as almost clinical, but it pulses with emotion. It's the fury of a man who knows exactly what he's doing, and still cannot stop. This is not about one night. It's about the soul's erosion. And the bitterest line of all this the world well knows. We know. We've seen it, felt it, and still we follow the flame. By the early 1600s, Shakespeare was no stranger to contradictions. He had written of transcendent love, And now he wrote of corrupting want. In Will in the World, Greenblatt suggests this sonnet may have emerged not from invention, but from experience. From the poet's own conflict between craving and contempt. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you felt it burning through your skin? Not love, desire. The kind that pulls you in, then pushes you over the edge. This isn't about longing, it's about possession, madness, regret. This is where Shakespeare goes when love is gone, and only lust remains. But what if, after all that, you looked back at the one you claimed to love and saw them clearly? No illusions, no metaphors, just them. What if the antidote to lust's poison was not purity, but honesty? In the next sonnet, Shakespeare shifts. He stops burning. He begins seeing. He writes not to worship, but to witness. He says, "Your eyes are not stars, your breath is not perfume, and yet I love you." Because maybe real love begins where fantasy ends. Sonnet 130. The real love coming next. In Enlighten My Silence.